And good morning. Welcome to Sports Talk. Good Saturday morning. Looks like a little bit of clouds in the sky this morning. Very humid morning, kind of like yesterday, Mike Powell and Lanny and myself. I don't know about Brett. All of us' favorite weather, the very humid days when it's –
You love it.
They're bad enough when it's 90 and humid, but it just feels so bad when it's –
It's 60.
Yeah, the humidity in the air yesterday was pretty thick all day long. Of course, did get a couple sprinkles of rain. That's about all I saw. A few sprinkles of rain, and could get them. I guess could get them still yet a little bit this morning. I don't know before it clear. I think it's supposed to clear out by noon and be sunny. A sunny day here.
Well, I would welcome that.
Yeah. It tends to do away with the humidity whenever you don't have all the cloud cover and things like that. So hopefully it'll be a nice one. But nonetheless, it's people counting it. Lanny and I were talking a little bit before you guys got here about the temperatures and everything, and I said, people are already writing in it's spring, and tomorrow is officially the first day. I think I heard this morning,
20th,
but people were already writing it in, and Mike, I know some of the coldest games we've ever done in high school sports are in April.
Oh yeah,
windy. They call them the March winds, but sometimes they're not totally gone in March. It seems like April is when we go through the biggest transition.
The one I remember, you and me at Kramer.
It was a cold night.
With the Wolves.
That was a cold night. I'm gonna tell you.
No press
right now.
box.
And it was windy.
Yeah.
And I don't recall if it was March or April, but it was. It didn't matter. It was.
Yeah.
Temperature. I'd say the wind chill that night was around 30 or 20.
Mm-hmm. We were out in the open. No press box.
That's right.
No shelter.
Give me shelter.
Yeah. Give me shelter.
Well, we got a lot to talk about today. We mentioned last week the baseball issues are resolved. We've seen free agents moving in baseball. We've seen free agents moving in football.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen trades in football, blockbuster trades here in this offseason. The draft's coming up pretty soon. You got the NCAA tournament, which is dominating the TV networks, and it should.
It should. It's March.
That's what we want to see.
Mm-hmm.
And I still can't get over that somebody didn't think of this 20 years ago. But I think for about the last, has it just been maybe 5 years, we've got to see every game. Every game you want to see in its entirety, you can. Because with the 4 networks showing a game, there's not one that you can't watch from start to finish. How many years would you say that's been going on? Maybe 5?
Yeah.
Probably.
I always guess low. I always think it's 5, and then somebody says, that started 10 years ago.
It could have been 10.
But, and that's because time goes by a little faster as you get older.
If you want to watch every game, at least bits of it, you can.
Yep. Do you usually flip on each game at least one time, or are you one of those that are – and I'm asking both of you – or are you stuck to that one particular?
I tend to get stuck, to one game for a while, and then maybe at halftime or a break, I may go somewhere else. It depends. If one game is not as interesting, I can switch. But
you?
I'll flip around.
Does
a
it
little
depend
more.
on? Yeah. Does it depend on who they are?
Last night, after Duke ended, I watched most of the Davidson, Michigan State without turning the channel too many times.
Yeah.
And when they went to halftime, I flipped around, but
yeah, number one is as a Duke fan, you had ties because Duke's going to play the winner of that. Number two, you got a North Carolina team in Davidson who everybody wants to watch.
Cool.
Michigan State, you got Tom Izzo. That's a draw.
Yep.
And it's I kind of left my. Here's one thing I want to ask you guys about. Okay. You guys see this right here on my coffee cup? You see that? What's that thing called?
QR code.
The QR code?
Yeah.
Is that affecting your watching of the basketball tournament?
I don't think so.
It's affecting mine. It is affecting mine.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's happening on the other TV, on the other providers, any kind of cable or whatever all these are, Sling, Roku, you name them.
Yeah.
But on DirecTV, at least, if you flip channels,
Yeah, I think I know what you're going to say now.
it will. You didn't know this is why it was causing it, did you?
Mm-mm.
You can't change channels again. It's locked until this barcode pops up on your screen.
Yeah.
And when that pops up on your screen, you're able to change channels again. I finally figured it out. I was going to buy new remotes because I changed batteries. It still wasn't working. You know, and how many times you want to flip channels during basketball? A lot when you got 4 games on at one time, you know?
Yeah, so last night when Duke was ahead comfortably, and I wanted to flip back and forth and watch the end of the Illinois-Chattanooga game, when I would turn it over there and say they'd be on a commercial or something, it took 2 to 3 minutes before I could turn it back to Duke. So I just quit.
It wouldn't really take that long. If you just sat there and watched that barcode pop up, I figured it out. When that thing pops up, what you call it, a QR code, when it pops up on your TV, you can switch channels again. Now, Lanny, you need to check that out and see if it's doing it on your provider. Just find out today.
DirecTV?
Yes.
I'm YouTube.
Yeah. So I'd still check it and just see. But I'm surprised.
Because I have flipped around.
Yeah, but are you flipping instantly? Like I'll go to one, it'll be on a commercial, and I'll instantly go to the next one. It won't go. Not till that barcode pops up. So and anybody out there that's listening, let me know if you're going through that same thing. And how are they able to control you like that? Why are they able to control you?
Big
like
Brother
that?
is watching.
Big Brother's watching, and it's also an advertisement because that thing right there is making somebody some money.
Yeah.
Right? When you click on that thing, that's making somebody some money. So check that out today and see if it's happening on your. What are you watching it through, Mike?
Hulu Live.
Hulu Live. Just see if it's doing the same thing on there, because I'll be interested in if it's just a DirecTV thing. But it is definitely affecting the way I watch the tournament. And for the first day on Thursday, I didn't figure it out till I did figure it out on Thursday, but it was like at midnight. It's time to go to bed, and I got this thing. I said, "Wow, I see now that thing pops up," because I just kept changing it.
I guess last night was the first time I really started flipping around, because that's when I really noticed it.
Yeah,
was when I was trying to get back to Duke's game just to see the very end, the handshakes and stuff, and I couldn't.
It don't take long. if you said a minute or two, it's not a minute or two. It's more like 30 seconds, I say, or less. But it's still like if I flip to a channel that's on a commercial, I'm continuing to flip. Won't let you. Locks you up. Locks you down. Well,
a devious form of control of
it
your
is.
TV viewing habit.
Lenny Anthony, it took me a day to figure that out, and I have DirecTV. So there you go. See, I'm not making stuff up. I figured it out late that night, so it basically took me a day.
So what is the code? Do you know?
No idea. I don't know what you do there. I don't know. I just wait. My code is wait 10, 30, 10 or 30 seconons, whatever it may be.
But no, I mean the QR code that pops up. Do you know what?
It's got something to do with March Madness. It's got something to do with March Madness. Because I think it says March Madness on it. Yeah. I wish I would have recorded a little bit of that last night and with my phone and brought in and showed you guys and just exactly what I'm talking about. But so have you guys? Surely you've noticed that popping up on your screen. I know you have, Brett, with DirecTV. Has Lanny and Mike noticed that actually the little QR code popping up on your screen?
Have not noticed.
I got a feeling Mike's one of these watchers that he's got the sound on, but he don't look a whole lot. And if you don't change channels, it's not going to pop up. It does it like every time you change to one of the other 3 channels.
I'll certainly keep it in mind.
Yeah, you just need to see.
On Hulu Live, how is it any more difficult to switch back and forth between games than a DirecTV or a Spectrum would be?
I really like Hulu Live. It's convenient, user friendly. It bunches everything together for you, and I think it's easier. Well, just from
as
my
easy.
experience. Yeah.
YouTube don't have the previous button.
Yeah, no previous channel button.
You just flip back
Yeah.
and forth.
Oh, Lord, I couldn't live without that.
The previous button is critical.
Previous channel is very critical. Get a text here. You can probably guess who this one's from. Not doing that in West Maiden. Got all 5 in my favorite block. Now, has he got 5 channels? What's the 5th one? He said got all 5 in my block on IPTV.
Oh yeah.
Flip anytime. Well, yeah. Okay.
Well, there is.
You need
I
to
don't
check
know
and
if
see if
he's got
that's,
it, but there is a channel where you can see all 4 games at one time. Where it,
Like
you
a
know,
Okay,
split screen
okay.
effect?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what he means.
That's pretty neat too. Steve K says not with Spectrum, not doing that with Spectrum. Lenny says I thought the batteries were weak, and it was my remote. That was my first thing. I went to change the batteries in my remote. I did change the batteries in my remote. It still didn't do it, so I started banging on the remote, hitting it on stuff. You know,
Well, it sounds like we've got the wrong
And went
$250 a month provider.
That much.
you just gave Mike Powell a heart attack.
$250.
He fell over in his chair over there.
I need a cup of Joe real quick.
Yeah, it's
here.
$250 a month except during football season,
Yeah,
and then it's
$60
and
more.
then it's three something
Golly.
a month for.
Does
for
that
the-
include the red zone and all
Yes,
that
sir.
stuff?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It does, but that's the main reason.
It includes
that
a
I
lot,
want it.
but
Yeah. You've
No, we've got
always wanted the red zone.
HBO.
Oh, you could,
got some
if you
extras.
wanted, you could run a direct TV bill up to $400 a month easily if you wanted to add the, Cinemax, Stars, because we have HBO, but if Showtime, any of those, you want to throw those in there, and then you have like 1,000 pay-per-views if you want to, and
Pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the MLB extra innings, NBA League Pass. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. There's a
Disney
college
Plus.
football one.
ESPN Plus.
Mike's gonna add Disney Plus. We're over here talking about sports and.
Well, just saying, you're talking about all these added-on layers of packaging.
Well, I figured Mike would mention the Playboy channel instead of Disney Plus, but he comes out with Disney Plus.
Is there one?
Is there one?
I don't know.
The Disney Playboy channel?
Well, I don't know. I figured
That'd be kinda-
Playboy's
that'd be-
last days were upon it. I don't know if it still publishes.
I don't
Not
know.
sure.
Mike, like he don't know over there, right?
I don't know. I get men.
But check that out. I would like to know anybody
It
else.
sounds like it's only direct.
It does sound like it's only a direct TV thing, but I would like to know and if any other provider is putting that kind of thing up there. Butch says I do have the multiple game channel. IPTV is $40 a month, 2,000 channels, best deal in the market. And the only
Sounds like
reason
it.
that I don't have that, Butch, is I don't think one of those 2,000 channels is the red zone during the NFL season. Tell me if I'm wrong, because if I'm wrong, I'm switching. You know what I mean?
What's the name of this
I feel
network
the
again?
same. IPTV,
How do you?
Internet Provider TV. I don't
sounds
know what it
great.
might stand for. I pray for TV. I don't know. No, I don't know what the IP. First thing comes to mind is Internet Provider.
Yeah,
but, you know.
sure. IP address. Yeah.
Yep, but who knows? Who knows? Check that out and see. We got a lot to talk about this morning. We're going to start out, of course, with the granddaddy, the NCAA
Rose
tournament. The,
Thought you meant
the
the Rose
granddaddy
Bowl.
of them all. Yeah. Well, let's see.
Pasadena.
Southern Cal and UCLA have both already been active in the NCAA tournament.
Southern Cal.
One survived, one did not. Right.
Yeah.
And they play in that
The good guys
Rose Bowl
won.
every now and the good guys won. Let's see. This is definitely not what I'm looking for. Let's see. It's funny. You go to scores, it gives you nothing. You go to schedule, and let's see. Nope, maybe I'm wrong about that. So far, let's start this way. Has there been anything yet in the NCAA tournament that surprised you?
Well, St. Peter's beating Kentucky. The big surprise to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
But this day and time,
That was.
I know that's the biggest surprise, but is it really that shocking this day and time?
That wasn't shocking.
Yeah. There's just so many good basketball players now in the
Well, you remember the text you sent me that eventually, someday in the future, you'll have
I believe
four
that, too.
mid-majors
I believe that.
in the Final Four.
Don't you? I believe there's a chance we could have that at one day.
Well, we halfway had it a couple times when Butler. But would you consider them a mid-major in basketball in those days?
They were then.
Then. Yeah.
Well,
now they're in the Big East, aren't they? So
yeah, I
they're
consider
not a
Big
mid-major.
East major. It's not a Power 5 conference, so to speak. But
no,
to
but
me,
in
basketball,
yeah,
it
it's
is.
as
It
good
is.
as any.
Yeah, it's a power. It's a Power 6 setup.
There you
in
go. It's a Power
basketball.
6. Add one to it.
Certainly the Big East.
I would agree. Is it the best conference? It may be better than some of the ones that consider themselves Power 5
Oh yeah.
in basketball
That's better than the ACC.
this year.
This year, I think.
But
it
you know
is.
what,
I'd say
Brett, as
most
bad as we
years.
thought the ACC was, maybe it's not quite as
It's
bad.
still bad.
Maybe it's not quite as bad.
Well, they're holding their own pretty well.
Yeah,
so
I
far.
think time will tell.
Duke, Notre Dame are winners. Who else? Miami pulled out a close one. That's 3.
Notre Dame.
Carolina was the fourth.
Fourth.
The only one that's out is Virginia Tech.
Yeah. Did you guys really think that Virginia Tech's incredible 3-point shooting would continue?
Well, it's
indefinitely?
No.
it's typical, Mike. You
Yeah.
beat North Carolina, you beat Duke, you're going to lose your next game.
Yeah,
It's automatic.
Yeah, automatic.
I don't care
Yeah.
if I don't care who they played yesterday.
How many times have we seen it?
Weren't going to win
No.
because
No, and they played a pretty good team. Texas is
They-
pretty good.
and they went all out in those 2 games, and it burned a lot of energy, a lot of emotion, and then you get in the tournament. And what do you have left when you just
Yeah.
beat the 2
Yeah.
powerhouses
And you
of the
just won your
ACC?
first ACC tournament title
Mhm.
since you joined the conference. Yeah. So I think they were tapped out. I mean, they were on a heck of a run. They were during that week. They were one of the hottest teams in the country, and their 3-point shooting was phenomenal.
Lenny said, "Don't forget about VCU and George Mason, 2
Oh, yeah.
mid-majors that made it to the Final
All the
Four."
way.
And I still think at some point, did we have 2 at one time? Were they both at the same time?
Not those
No.
two,
Okay.
but there were 2.
I thought there were 2.
Yeah.
Loyola maybe, and can't recall right now.
But didn't VCU?
What were VCU and Butler at the same time?
I don't know.
There was definitely a year where
All
there
of
were
them
2.
run together, as you can tell. All those.
Well, in VCU.
Well, what is
Tournament
Gonzaga? I mean, they're not in a Power 5 conference.
That you know what I mean. Through all the years, they're definitely a mid-major, but they have earned the respect and the title now of a major basketball program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They may not come from a Power 5 or a major conference in basketball because I can't even tell you a team that's in it, that's in their
Well,
conference.
their conference is, I think, mid-major.
Well, they got
Their
3. They got
league.
3 teams in the tournament: St. Mary's
Yeah, St.
and
Mary's.
San Francisco.
Yeah, and then both those teams, St. Mary's destroyed. Who did they?
Indiana.
Indiana.
Oh yes, when I saw the score on that one, it was 30-some.
And San Francisco lost to Murray
A
State.
very close game.
Yeah.
So
To
that
me,
league is pretty good this year.
Only thing missing on Gonzaga's resume right now is a title.
That's it.
And they are, and you know what? I don't know if they get it this year or not. They might. I love Mark Few. I love
Me
what he's
too.
done with that program. I love the fact he's never left and gone to one of the powerhouse programs in the United States. He stayed where he's at and keeping it going. Not saying he won't. He might leave as soon as this tournament's over. You never know. Because every now and then, you know, somebody doubles your pay. I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
What if the Zags cut down the nets? You think he might consider leaving? I mean,
That'd make me stay even more, I think, because
Right.
you finally got over that hump and
yeah,
proved
but
that you
finally,
can.
all that hard work. all
Yeah, I
those
don't think
years.
he's going anywhere.
But what I was going to say though about their all they're missing is that title. I'm not so sure they're not the best program
Well,
in
over
the country
over the last 3 or 4 years.
as far as consistency.
They might be.
And they're that team. You can look at all the teams in the NCAA tournament. They're the one really you don't want to face because they are so used to being, you
How
know,
many-
they
so
believe they're going to win.
What, they've been to like 3 of the past Final Fours, 2 of the past 4. They put together a really terrific run here of getting to the Final Four.
And I remember, Mike, it's 10, 15 years ago we were introduced to Gonzaga being in there, being
Yeah.
the spoiler,
yeah.
focusing on John Stockton in the stands. His son was playing on the team at the time. You know, I mean, there's just,
Oh, yeah.
just things you remember. I don't know how many years that goes back, but I'm guessing 10.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lenny says Gonzaga has become a power team in a mid-major conference, and
Right.
that's pretty much
That
what they
sums
are.
it up.
And maybe
Other
like,
than the
you know,
mid-major conference part, that it reminds me of Duke in the late '80s.
how close they were, but
Yeah,
No cigar.
yeah,
Everybody kept
And-
wondering, could Kay actually?
and if they want, if he would win a title, he might, he could win several.
Yeah.
It's just like they've got to get over the hump and win one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the kids
He's
on the
played in
West
2
Coast
national
right now.
championship games.
The kids on the West Coast right now. Your top 200 players in the country. The ones on the West Coast, are they choosing Gonzaga these days over UCLA?
Yes.
Over Southern Cal, over Arizona.
That's proved by the fact that they got Chet Holmgren.
And another thing.
Yeah, I don't think they're just getting the West Coast kids. I mean, they're getting.
Oh, they are. They are. But I'm just saying, is that Mike's computer? I'm just saying that
Not anymore.
they lost my train of thought on that.
Because you lose your train of thought.
They're getting good players in. They also recruit to fit their system too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not sure how many top 25 or how many top 50 they get. Maybe none. But they stick around. They stick around, and that's key.
The last 2 years, they have had one of the premier players as
Mm-hmm.
far as high school players. Remember the guard last year? What was
Timmy?
Yeah, Jalen Suggs.
Jalen Suggs.
Yeah, he was one of the top
a
2 or
first
3
round-
players in the
first
nation.
round pick.
Is that the team Timmy's on, or am I thinking of somebody
Yeah,
else?
that's
Yeah.
Gonzaga.
Drew
Yeah,
Timme.
what did he do yesterday? He had like 32 and
Yeah.
15
Yeah.
or something like that yesterday. He's very consistent.
And then this year they brought in Chet Holmgren, who was the number 1 overall
Yeah.
player in the country.
I
And,
guess
and he's from Minnesota.
Right. So there you go. They're not recruiting on the West Coast just necessarily. I guess the big question is this Gonzaga team better than the one that lost to Baylor in the national finals last year? I don't know. They certainly have
Well,
a player.
Baylor's not as good, so
No.
that's
Well, they certainly have a incredibly versatile player like Holmgren they didn't have last year.
Yeah,
is he kin to
I don't
Mike?
know.
but they
Any idea? I mean, Mike.
Yeah.
I don't. Is it?
I
He's
don't-
West
I doubt-
Coast
I don't
guy,
know.
isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, I just told you Holmgren's from Minnesota.
Oh,
Yeah.
my bad. I'm not sure Mike Holmgren was a West Coast.
They
guy.
don't look
Just,
anything alike. I
okay.
know
I
that.
think they spell their last name different.
Oh, okay. Well, that
Yeah,
would
that would
probably
do it.
explain it too.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Arizona beat Wright State 87-70. I'm gonna stop right there because I have a question. Could we see multiple West Coast teams in the Final Four?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Could be
we did
their
last year.
Sure did.
Gonzaga, UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That could happen again.
Yeah.
2 teams.
And there was a time we went through a stretch.
Then we saw 2 Texas teams,
How
Baylor and Houston.
How long was the drought? So every team was west of the Mississippi. Was that the first time in like 100 years for that?
I wonder how that
Yeah, I don't
affected the ratings of the Final Four last year. I mean, you didn't have any East Coast teams. You didn't have a blue blood like Kentucky.
I think when it comes to college basketball tournament, I don't really think it matters.
Okay.
I really don't. I think people watch it because people start watching the tournament that don't even watch basketball all year.
Oh yeah.
You know, so those numbers they're not going to decrease.
And you
because
know
of who
the
it is.
Duke and Carolina and Kentucky, all the blue blood team fans were still tuned in
Yeah.
to the
Sure.
Final Four. They don't care,
Sure. Somebody's going to win a title.
Yeah.
And somebody's going to have that label forever.
And yet Gonzaga was undefeated.
Yeah, that's
So you had
another
that-
thing. Yeah, they were
that
undefeated.
storyline.
Could they do what no one has done since Indiana's '76 team?
I, for one, and you guys are gonna not want to hear me say this, but I, for one, I don't think you really want. I want the big time programs in the Final Four. I was disappointed. I'm glad for whoever it was, St. Peter's or whatever. But I was sad to see Kentucky go down because that's one other team that had, that's one of those historic
Star power.
programs. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Even if you like them or don't like them, you got somebody to pull against if you don't like them when it gets to the end. You know what I mean? I mean, it makes it better. It makes more people watch if there's your villain. Maybe it's your villain, and you see them get to the championship game, and you sit there, glued to it because you want to see them lose. I'm not just saying that about just Kentucky. I mean, just
Yeah,
Yeah, and I don't even
programs.
have a problem with Kentucky.
no, I don't either.
Yeah,
I don't either. They don't
Yeah.
bother me at all.
I mean, we want the blue bloods to be there. I
Uh-huh.
mean, even in college football, I mean, they haven't been there lately. But it would be nice to see Southern Cal up there. We always want them
No.
to be good, except for Brett.
No,
I
I'm
like
I'm
it
happy
when
with
Notre
them being
Dame's. I
mediocre.
like it when Notre Dame's relevant.
Brett said he wished yesterday would have been a football game. Notre Dame beat Bama by 2 touchdowns
Yeah,
yesterday. So
true.
uh,
Only on the hard court. my friend.
Lenny says, I believe what Dean Smith said. You build your momentum in the tournament, and that was evident these first 2 days when Virginia Tech and Iowa lost after being world beaters the week before. You know what?
Great point Lenny makes, because even though you come hot off winning a big conference tournament, that doesn't seem to always work out.
Every now and then you get a UConn,
a
NC State, had to win to get in and kept that momentum and won national titles. But I think winning these tournaments takes a lot of emotion out of you and takes a lot of gas out of you. I mean, I think, a lot of the tournaments teams win them, they play 4 games.
They do.
And 4 in 4 days.
4 days.
And then you got to turn around and play. All of a sudden,
that's what Virginia Tech had to do. You
got the relief of, we won that tournament, we got in, and then you don't have anything left. For the big dance. I mean,
and we've seen years where a Duke or a North Carolina didn't win the ACC tournament, but then they come in and have a great run in the NCAAs. I even think one of the Leighton Hurley teams maybe didn't win.
Oh yeah, I would say
one of them did lose in the ACC tournament. I don't remember if it was 91 or 92.
I would bet if you add up the ACC titles, the ACC teams that have won national titles, they probably didn't win there.
No.
I mean more. I'd say over 50% didn't win. Maybe did not win their conference tournament championship. Scott Cloninger says, how much does travel affect the teams?
You wonder.
In your opinion?
Well, I think Indiana, they had to get on a plane real quick after their Tuesday night so-called play-in game, right? First 4 in, and that they didn't have much left for St. Mary's or whatever. I don't know. Maybe St. Mary's is that good.
I wish they would do away with that first 4. I don't like it.
What you said the other night, we talked about this in years past. If you get an automatic berth, you should not play in the play-in games.
Yeah.
If you earn that automatic berth, it's just not fair that now you've done that and you still got to win a game to get in the tournament. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, basically, you got to win a game to get where everybody else is. Let's make the automatic berths, those that win their conference tournaments, at least not start till Thursday or Friday.
That's reasonable.
The team, honestly, your ratings are probably better and everything if you just put Power 5 teams.
Yeah, I do not watch
in those games.
16 seed play-in game. Was it Indiana and
viewing audience.
Wyoming? I watched a little bit of that one.
Yeah, I did too.
Josh Allen block.
Yeah,
for those Cowboys.
2 touchdown passes.
Rodney Willis awake this morning already before 8:30. Way to go, Rodney. Chet Holmgren is a stat stuffer who will probably only get better. Freshman year, 30 games played, 26 minutes, 14 points, 10 boards, 4 blocks, 2 assists. Shot 40% from three-point range, 60% overall from the floor, and 75% on free throws. So
that's a stat stuffing.
And Rodney Willis is a stat machine, stat providing machine.
Too much credit. It's 8:29.
This morning, I know he barely made it. 8:29. He barely made it, but he's doing really good. We'll leave you. I think most folks are up. We're going to take our first time out. And I'm not gonna. I was gonna ask the trivia question and go to break, but you know what? That gives people time to look it up. So I'll wait. We'll wait till after the break to give.
What's this about? Basketball.
This one is.
Okay.
Music one's coming.
Oh.
The music one's coming.
I need to come up with one.
Hey, Lanny provided my music trivia this morning. He did. We'll take a time out. Back with more sports talk in a moment.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver, or visit mooneyinsurance.com. At Stifel Nicholas, we're committed to offering investors personalized investment guidance. We're a full-service organization with departments staffed with professionals that specialize in a wide range of investment opportunities, from the most conservative to the most aggressive. We strive to give each account, regardless of size, careful, individual attention. Call Fore Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC and the New York Stock Exchange. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times.
NCAA basketball is going to dominate our morning, as it should. Also have some high school baseball scores for you a little later on. We'll talk about maybe some of the moves in the NFL, who got paid in a big way, and
who got their feelings hurt, as in Cleveland.
And how did Cleveland get their feelings hurt?
No, I'm talking about one individual from Cleveland, and this,
your boy,
my boy. Baker.
OU Baker.
Yep. Basically said goodbye, right?
Yep. Well, he's gone now for sure, after adding Deshaun Watson last night to the Browns roster. So he's going to get his wish.
Well, that's the first I'd heard that. Man, I must have stayed up not late enough. I thought he was sure thing for New Orleans.
He was choosing between New Orleans and Atlanta, and the next news came out is he's headed to Cleveland.
Well, I'll be.
How about that?
The informed tells the uninformed. Being me.
I don't know if it's official, signed, all that kind of stuff, but Brett read it too, didn't you?
I think it is.
Brett had told me about it.
Wow.
And
230 over 6 years, fully guaranteed. First fully guaranteed.
Fully complete guaranteed contract. 230 million.
Well, now we know the NFL is going to come down with some kind of suspension.
Why? I'm not sure they will.
Well, I understand.
No criminal evidence.
I know there's
right?
no criminal charges.
No charges.
But I figured
1 game max.
Okay.
That's just my. I'll say 3 games max.
Okay.
But
I figured
my guess
something.
is maybe 1. My guess is maybe 1. Still worth it. Still worth it.
Well, what? I mean, he didn't play at all last year.
Right.
No.
Was that his own choice?
Mm-mm. Was it? I don't think it was.
Then why suspend him? I mean, he's already missed a full season.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I guess it comes down to who made that.
Well, I think
decision.
there'll be pressure on the NFL from various sources, various segments of society to do something.
Yeah. Yep. And you got to hope. I hate to say this because you never know the person, right? And I'm not going to say, but there's always a chance that, people that do something like this, if he really is guilty, do it again, right? Because we see, just look at all the players in the past history that it's just I don't know if it's like a disease or what, but, it's just you can't shake it. So hopefully for him he won't do it again, but I'm just saying there's always that chance.
Yeah, and then you find these people that do this over a period of 18, 20 years. Remember the physician at Michigan State?
Oh, yeah.
That
I don't know his name.
That was an ongoing, long
I know
term.
it started with doctor.
Yeah.
But
Nassar, was that it?
I think it was Nassar.
Yeah.
It might have been Nassar. A trivia question this morning that is about NCAA basketball. And if you were watching late last night, you're going to know this. But I think the only other way you know the answer to this question is you look it up. You'd have to look it up just to know the answer to this question. But if you were watching late last night, I got the question off of TV, and it was talking about the previewing the Michigan State Duke matchup today will be the 7th time that Michigan State and Duke have met in the NCAA tournament, and only one matchup has met more times, and I think that number was 10.
Mm-hmm.
I think that number was 10.
And you want to know who that was.
And who are those two teams that have met 10 times?
In the NCAA tournament.
Yep.
Ah.
They've met 10 times in the NCAA tournament, and we'll go with that. I can't say any more without it being a hint,
10 times.
And we will give a hint if nobody gets it. But don't, try and think about it for a little bit. I know you want to look it up and get it and stuff like that.
No, I never.
I'm not talking about you.
No.
I'm not talking about you.
I do have some ethics.
Yeah, but try and guess it a little bit before you actually do look it up. And I'm talking to our audience a little bit. Make it a little bit of a challenge.
Even more than Michigan State and Duke.
Yep. I'm pretty sure 10 was the number, and that means you've narrows it down because you've had to been in the tournament at least 10 times, right?
Yeah, quite a bit. So it's got to be a blue blood program, 2 blue bloods, right? Pretty much.
You're asking for hints already, Mike?
No, can you just acknowledge that it was blue blood?
UCLA, one of
them. Bingo. And now, to answer the other part of your question, Mike, no.
Oh.
So there you have it. So Brett has guessed one of those teams.
Yeah,
and I've gave you a huge hint on the. Well, really, what does that take away? It takes away North Carolina, Duke.
Yeah.
Indiana, a blue blood program.
Well, kind of
even though they're red blood.
A little bit of residue.
Still
Indiana.
Who's the
well,
others
Duke,
that we
Carolina,
consider?
Kentucky, Kansas.
Yeah, Kansas.
That's.
So there's you a pretty good hint that you takes those away. So it's still got to be somebody.
Michigan State, you kind of consider blue blood. Michigan,
yeah,
I'd consider Michigan one.
No, you go ahead. And we're going to go through the scores. We mentioned Arizona beat Wright State. That got me on the West Coast thing, and boy, we flew all over the place from there. Villanova defeated Delaware 80-60. It was Auburn over. You guys stop me at any time you want to comment on one of these games, or if it might have been some kind of surprise or something. Auburn over Jacksonville State 80-61.
Sharpie, no surprise there.
Duke over Cal State Fullerton 78-61.
No.
Who are the two high-profile graduates of Cal State Fullerton that they mentioned last night on the game? Did you guys notice?
I did not.
I'll give you.
Well, I'd already looked. Yeah, I told you one a few days ago.
I'll give Mike the same hint that I gave him last week. I think it was, or maybe 2 weeks ago.
All right.
John Dutton.
Oh yeah, Kevin Costner, baby.
Kevin Costner and
Straight out of Compton.
Yeah,
Kevin Costner.
That's amazing that. Lenny says, was it San Francisco that played UCLA in those matchups all the years? No, wasn't San Francisco.
The Don's big dime. That was in the 50s when they had Bill Russell and all those guys.
I will say this. Legendary coach. That'll help you. That might help you a little bit. They had a legendary coach for multiple reasons. Now, I'm throwing a big hint out there with that. Legendary coach for multiple reasons. Purdue beat Yale 78-56. It was Texas Tech, who really looks good. Yeah. You got to like what they're doing. It's his first year for Chris
Beard.
Yeah, first year at Texas.
Moved over from
no, he's at Texas.
He's at Texas.
Oh, was that you said Texas?
Yeah,
Tech.
I did say Texas.
Yes.
It's first year he's been gone.
Whoever's coaching
First year
Texas
he's
Tech is also their first year.
It would have to be. Yeah. Wisconsin got by Colgate. That's all I'm going to say. Wisconsin got by Colgate playing in Milwaukee, 67-60. Quick, where's Colgate?
Northeast.
There you go. That's all I got too. Is it Jersey?
I think.
For some reason, I thought it was. I don't know why.
What's the state university
New Hampshire,
of New Jersey? Do you know?
The State University
Rutgers
of New Jersey. It would have to be.
Rutgers Scarlet Knights.
Why do they have Rutgers State? Is that what it is?
Not St. Peter's.
It might be now.
How do you have a nickname called Peacocks?
Brett liked it, or was it you liked it? One of you guys sent me a message. I think it was Brett.
Like they strut their stuff.
He said the Peacock Network should carry all their games.
Peacocks are like pretty birds. I mean, dainty, dandies.
You ever heard one squeal?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can hear it for about a quarter of a mile or better.
Okay.
When one of those things squeals. Moving on down the list here. How far did I get to?
You got
Texas Tech.
Colgate.
I want to say Texas Toast when I think of Texas Tech. You seen that commercial, the Sonic commercial with that family of three sitting in there, all of them saying Texas Toast? Yeah, I want to say Texas Toast instead of Texas Tech. We got Wisconsin winning over Colgate. Somebody throw it out there. Colgate is on my shelf in the bathroom. He didn't say in the bathroom, but on his shelf.
That's Colgate. Extra.
That's the first thing you think of, isn't it?
Hamilton, New York.
It's in New York.
New York.
Okay.
Okay.
Hamilton, New York. That must be upstate. Is all.
For a long time, I thought it was one of those Ivy League schools, but I guess not.
Yeah, they have to be right on the. Is Penn in the Ivy League?
Yes.
Okay, I thought it was.
Yeah.
So Colgate, yeah, Mike, I'm with you on that. I thought
Colgate's
that forever
in the
too.
Patriot League.
Okay.
So they play New England and
Yeah.
people like that. Houston.
All revering the Raiders.
A lot of talk last night about Houston might be the best offensive team in the tournament. Houston 82, UAB 68 last night. Although Barkley changed his tune because Barkley had 4 upsets yesterday, and he had Birmingham beating Houston. And then at halftime, he said Houston was probably the best offensive team in the entire tournament. So, Illinois over UTC, Chattanooga. This was a very close game. Illinois did not lead in the game until 30 seconds to go. Is that right? Mm-hmm. They never led in the game until there was 30 seconds to go.
They led for 25 seconds.
A total of 25 seconds. 54
Colgate, very
to 53.
close to Syracuse.
Is it?
Yeah.
Illinois wins over Chattanooga 54-53. Miami beats Southern Cal. Really good game here. Is actually – Miami had, a 7-point lead or so with under a minute to go. Southern Cal cut it down to 2 as it ended 68-66 for Miami getting the win.
Miami 1 for 14 3-pointers.
1 for 14 and still
and
won
Southern
the game.
Cal was 9 for 20.
Wow.
The big difference was Southern Cal had 18 turnovers. Miami had 3.
Yeah. You know what? You can be a North Carolina fan. You can be a Duke fan. But I think everybody likes Larranaga.
They do.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, if he's not playing your team, I think everybody pulls for Jim Larranaga. He's just a class act.
Yeah, been around a long time. Of course, took George Mason to the Final Four. Very big surprise that year. And Miami's been very competitive in the ACC. Made a number of NCAA fields. So
not just a class act, but he wins ball games
he wins
too.
ball games.
Yep. Now, I'm not. Who they got next round, Brett?
And Miami plays small ball.
Yeah.
They play Auburn.
They bunt a lot.
Yeah. Well, they got 4 guards and then
they do.
kind of a stretch
They do,
4
yeah.
They
playing
hit,
center.
Play hit and
It's-
run a lot, bunt.
Yep. Somebody that pounds it
Double
inside
steals.
would probably beat Miami, but
Well, that's them and Auburn is going to be very contrasting
yeah.
as far as the size goes.
So that's who they've got.
Yeah.
Auburn. Mm.
Well, Miami's got that experienced backcourt. Charlie Moore and Vincent Wong. Is it Vincent Wong or Victor Wong? I'm not sure.
I think it's Isaiah.
Isaiah.
He's right there on it.
Yeah, I had that one down pat.
And then McGusty's really good. Good.
He should have played on St. Patrick's Day.
Good.
Dusty.
Mm-hmm. He missed it by a day.
Good
didn't he?
mid-range shooter. Something you don't see a lot of.
And we all know, and it still holds true, guards help you. Good guards help you win games in March. I mean, got to have them.
Lenny says Miami led 65-58 with 33 seconds left and hung on. There was a lot of games yesterday that ended just like the Davidson game last night. It ended with a three-pointer going in with half a second left, and they pulled them to within one. A lot of games, I'm not going to say the score's misleading. They were very competitive games, but they closed the gap.
Most games yesterday were not very good.
No, most of them were not. Most of them, just looking at the scoreboard here,
But that Miami Southern Cal,
15 or better. 15 or better in the NCAA tournament's basically a blowout.
That's a blowout.
And Davidson Michigan State was probably the best game all day.
It was really
yesterday.
good, really good, really competitive. And let's just go ahead and give that one. Michigan State beat Davidson 74-73. Joey Hauser, 27 points. That was his season high. I think his season high had been like 17.
Now, where did he
17 or
transfer
18.
from? Joey,
Isn't he a Marquette?
Didn't know he did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he transferred from somewhere.
Okay. Didn't. Well,
Was it
most of your
Marquette?
leaders did this day and time, right?
Marquette?
I don't know.
Isn't this his second year at Michigan State?
Joey Hauser. Was he at Virginia?
No, that was a different Hauser. There were two.
That's right, there were two. Sam Hauser.
Yep.
Yeah.
You sure he's not from West Lincoln?
Yeah. The Hauser name is quite prominent.
It
up
is.
there.
It is.
Just like Beam is prominent in Cherry.
It is that. Yeah, Beam, Black, and Dellinger will get you in the Cherryville crowd.
Oh,
Yeah, Joey Hauser. Looks like he played 1 year at Marquette.
Okay.
And then left. And this is his second year at Michigan State.
Mm.
And then was Sam Hauser I think that's his brother.
And he was at Virginia.
Started at Marquette and played 3 years and then went to Virginia.
Okay.
Lenny says that was his brother at Virginia.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
And I think maybe it was when whenever they got rid of Wojo is when these guys decided to transfer. And it's weird that they picked different schools. They didn't both, they didn't stay together. One to Virginia, one to Michigan State.
yeah, you wonder though if when you start transferring like that, is there room?
Right.
You
Yeah.
know,
there
gotta
might
be.
have been a problem.
gotta
But
be
you'd think you could find a team somewhere that.
Maybe not though
Take both
that
of you.
is
Yeah,
as
you're-
prominent.
Right. Yeah.
You know, you
You're
want
6'10", and you can shoot the three. Yeah.
you definitely want to go somewhere that's going to give you an opportunity to play in this big dance, as we call it, right? I would anyway. I would want to do that. And now I've just totally lost my place. I'll just work myself backwards, and if I get to one I've already gave, I might give it again. Seton Hall and TCU. TCU, one of the bigger blowouts of the day over Seton Hall. What has there been so far? 32 games?
Yep.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure I've missed 30 on my bracket. I was trying to remember the two I got, but I'm pretty sure that I have. I've not even looked. Mine has been so bad
Let me hold up my bracket with all the X's.
that I have
X's
not.
in it.
I can promise you I've missed more. And let me tell you, it's not just missing, but moving forward, I have Iowa in the championship game, and I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen. As a matter of fact, I will be willing to bet, anybody wants to bet, that's not going to happen. that Iowa's not. There again, why do we pick? Maybe we shouldn't pick teams that win their conference tournaments. It just doesn't seem to pan out.
Well, I'm looking at one of my ESPN brackets, and I had Kentucky to make the Final Four. So that's.
I don't change. I try not to change any of my. If I remember, I pick the same thing in every bracket I do, and I got in 3 of them this year, and every one of them. Just glad I didn't get in the $100 one that was offered me, because that way I didn't toss a $100 bill right into the trash can.
Yeah.
Here's my CBS Sports. I have Duke, UCLA, Illinois.
Can't hear you, Mike.
I have Duke, UCLA, Illinois, and Auburn in the Final Four.
Slide that microphone down a little bit, too. Your mouth's not up on your forehead.
You want to make sure you're my great voice.
I do.
Not just a good voice.
People send me messages every single week. Do something with Mike's mic.
Yeah,
Mike's mic.
Okay, anyway, my CBS bracket, everybody's still alive. They got Duke, UCLA, Illinois, and Auburn. So they're still going.
Duke, UCLA, Illinois.
Illinois barely survived.
Auburn. I'm going to say you have 2 that win the next round and 2 that'll be eliminated.
Yeah.
And I'm not even sitting here thinking I know who's going to be eliminated. It's just the kind of tournament it's been. It's likely you get 2 of those eliminated in the next round.
And here's another one, Yahoo. Gonzaga, UCLA, Illinois, and Auburn. I should have mixed it up a little more.
Not bad, but I'm not sure. I don't trust Illinois.
No, I don't. After their narrow squeaker.
Yeah. But sometimes that's what it takes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sometimes that's what it takes.
I just don't think they have the guard play to go a long way.
They definitely have the
Which
big
is why
man.
I don't think Duke's going to go a long way. Their guards aren't great.
Turnover city.
Yeah.
Duke is turnover city. Duke will not beat Michigan State, and I'll back that up. They are not physically tough enough to handle a Michigan State.
Yeah. Michigan State's a grind it out, get on the boards.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I told you last night they beat either one of them by 20.
And Michigan State don't really turn it over.
And I think that's the only way Duke's going to beat Michigan State is if they just blow them out.
They have to
from
do
the
it,
tip.
yeah.
I don't think they're going to beat them in a close game.
Well, after the
Duke
game,
don't play well in close games.
No.
We've seen that.
No.
They
after the game, Sir
struggle.
Charles Barkley said that Duke would run Michigan State out the gym.
So now it's guaranteed a Spartan win.
Out the gym, he said.
That's the
run
kiss
them
of
out
death.
the gym.
Yeah, they're going. Yeah.
I don't think Michigan State is as good as talented as Michigan State normally is.
No, I don't think it's vintage.
Well, they're not gonna. Yeah, they're not gonna score 90 points.
No.
If they do, they win easy.
Yeah.
But they're not going to score. I wouldn't think they're the kind of team's going to score 90 points.
Well, the way Duke's been giving up threes lately.
But they are going to work and work and work and work, and that's the thing that most teams have an edge over when playing Duke is how hard they work. Duke's work ethic is
We've seen these mid-major teams just play so hard to make a game of it against these higher seeds.
And here's one thing, like Brett's talking about the blowout and getting ahead early. Most of these teams, they've been taught when they go out there that whoever you're playing, do not stop. Do not let up, because if you get down 15, if you get down 20, that other team's going to relax a little bit, and you can make a run and get back in that game. And that happened last night to Duke a couple times, that they got it back under 10 a couple times. I just don't think that if Michigan State stays within 6 until the 5-minute mark of the game, they can still win the game. They can still win the game. Let's see what else we got here. Iowa State beat LSU 59-54. I really thought we were going to see a fight in this game. These two teams were really getting after it. Looked like they were big rivals and didn't like each other the entire game. I still haven't figured that out.
Well, guys, what do you think? I mean, I didn't ever pick LSU because they didn't have a coach.
LSU?
Yeah. I mean, they fired Will.
They did.
Sometimes I think that can play to your advantage.
Was it Wade? What was his name?
Was it Will Wade?
I don't know.
I think it was.
I don't know. That doesn't. Wade?
No, I think it is Wade.
Is it?
Will
Okay.
Wade. Well, they've got this latest round of accusations from the NCAA.
Oh, they're gonna get some sanctions.
Yeah, so
there's not much doubt about that.
They finally had to fire him. I mean, even though there was plenty of evidence before.
Yeah, it is Will Wade.
Will Wade.
who was let go.
I can't repeat that comment he made that kind of was telling about his whole approach to recruiting. Remember that one? Nah, you don't.
Well, maybe they can
You
still
can tell me
Mike,
at breakfast.
I'll
Mike
tell you
Bray
at
away
breakfast.
from Notre Dame.
They both transferred before Wojo, Lenny said. And tell me who these – well, Theo Johns and Dawson Garcia did transfer after
Wojo was fired.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the Hauser brothers transferred before.
Yeah.
While Wojo was still the coach
Yeah,
at
I guess
Marquette.
so, yeah.
But then the two big guys left after Wojo was
Right.
let go.
Agreed.
Theo Johns. Where's Dawson Garcia?
Carolina.
Carolina.
Yeah.
Right.
But he got hurt
Okay.
about
Not
halfway
playing.
through the year, and he's out for the season. He's another big guy.
I think I got through it. Well, no, I didn't. Texas beat Virginia Tech 81-73 in their season. Ohio State over Loyola Chicago 54-41. Notre Dame over Miami 78-64. And I did
Not
give
Miami.
What did I say?
You said Miami. Notre Dame over Alabama.
Oh, I'd already moved.
Alabama.
Notre Dame, yeah. Brett said, please make sure I say it's Alabama.
Oh,
Notre-
I don't know. Miami's
Hey,
be just as fun of a win.
I want the hair that the Alabama players got. What's his name? Anybody see that hair?
Yeah.
That dude has some hair right there. Alabama Falls, like Barkley said, he nailed this. When they're hitting their shots, they're capable of beating anybody. When they're not, they're capable of losing to anybody.
Well, Alabama's best player went out after 3 minutes. Got
That's
hurt.
a killer. I did not know that.
3 minutes into the game, their point guard, he's their best player,
Yep.
Javon Quinterly.
All right, and if it's also your point guard, you're really in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we talked about how important guard play is in the NCAA tournament. Usually the best guards wins the national championship. You have to have really good guards to get there and win the national championship. We mentioned LSU falls to Iowa State because it brought up the coaching change. We mentioned Michigan State beat Davidson 74-73. And we also mentioned that TCU rolled over Seton Hall. Who's the coach at Seton Hall now?
Good question.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Because it used to be Danny Hurley, right? And now he's moved on to UConn. Yeah, I don't know.
They got beat too.
Yep. It's not PGA Carlissimo, right?
Not anymore.
Coaching Seton Hall. We're going to take
Willard.
Kevin Willard. Now, that name's familiar. That name is familiar, and I can't think of why.
I don't know. Who's the coach at TCU? Jamie Dixon? Is he the man? Okay.
Kevin Willard was at Iona before Seton Hall. Been at Seton Hall for 12 years.
Wow.
Lenny says J.B. Davidson, Alabama. Looks like the mane of a lion.
Yeah.
And that's the first thought I had. Was
Mane of a lion.
He looked like a
Yes.
a lion out there. All right, we're going to take a time out. We appreciate you tuning in this morning. The trivia question, Duke and Michigan State will meet for the 7th time in the NCAA tournament. Only one matchup has happened more than that. It's been 10 times, and we already got UCLA as half of that. The other team is really known for their coach, their flamboyant coach. He's known for more than just coaching. And we have mentioned the school about 15 times or so during this last segment.
In this morning's
During this
discussion.
last segment, we've mentioned this school over and over and over. Back in a moment.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver, or visit mooneyinsurance.com. At Stifel Nicholas, we're committed to offering investors personalized investment guidance. We're a full-service organization with departments staffed with professionals that specialize in a wide range of investment opportunities, from the most conservative to the most aggressive. We strive to give each account, regardless of size, careful, individual attention. Call 4Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC and the New York Stock Exchange. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times.
Okay, welcome back to Sports Talk. We've had multiple guesses on the trivia question.
Yep.
And I tell you this one, I told Mike and Brett, this is so vague, I'm going to have to look it up. I want to confirm when this is all said and done that I heard it right and got it right. Now, you got to remember at the time of night it was. I'm pretty sure I heard it right, though. But this program we've mentioned a couple times on the air this morning. I'm going to tell you the nose, okay? And then I'll tell you
the nose
if anybody got it. Mike guessed. Lenny's guessed again. Lenny's latest guess was the Houston Cougars. The only thing I can't think about with Houston is, and the same thing with one of Mike's answers, you know, and everybody's answers so far. No, they were only known for their coaching. But, you know, I go back to Houston and I think, what was it? Guy Lewis, you know.
Towel.
Yeah. He was like, okay, he was known for his towel, I guess. You could guess that.
And
Same with Tarkadian.
Shark.
Yeah.
He's also known for his
Tark
towel.
chewed on his.
Yeah.
At least Lewis just wore his over his shoulder, right?
And he cried into it after they lost in the final.
But Mike's latest guess was
right.
Digger Phelps of Notre Dame, and he is oh so close.
Just close, no cigar.
Digger Phelps, well known for something else. Broadcasting, breaking down games, TV. So was this other guy.
Man.
Georgetown.
And I can give you one hint.
John Thompson.
That'll blow it out of the water. Nope. I'll go ahead and tell you no. I'll give you one hint that'll blow it out of the water.
Don't do it.
All I got to do is mention another school that he was at.
Don't do it. Keep us going on this. Yeah.
Boy, that's good coffee. I'm going to go, while you guys think about it, I'm going to go back to Thursday. Gonzaga beat Gastonia. I guess that's Georgia State. On my computer, It says GAST.
Now, just remember, too, guys, that Charlotte is the gateway to Gastonia.
Charlotte is the gateway to Gastonia, according to, who was that comedian that did that
Keenan
skit?
Thompson, Saturday Night Live,
yeah.
Weekend Update.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Gastonia mentioned on Saturday Night Live is just
pretty amazing.
Gonzaga wins handily over Georgia State, 93-72. Kansas over Texas Southern, 83-56. Bill Self has won a title?
One.
Just one?
Yeah.
One.
How long ago? And it was with Kansas.
Yeah, it was 2008, maybe.
Yeah,
Where was Self before he came to Kansas? Was he at Tulsa? Was he at
I
He
can't
was at
remember.
Illinois, too, wasn't he?
I don't remember that.
Okay.
But I don't remember. I don't know. I'm trying to remember where Bill Self was before he took the Kansas job. Because he was winning, getting in the tournament. That's how he got the Kansas job, because of his success at the prior job. And it has absolutely nothing to do with my other trivia questions, so don't try and link those together. But come on, Lenny. I know you know where Bill Self was before.
Yeah, it was Illinois and Tulsa.
Was it Illinois?
I thought it was
and Tulsa.
Illinois.
I thought I remembered him at Tulsa. Well, I'm guessing it was Tulsa, Illinois,
just
and
a few
Kansas.
years at each.
Okay.
And Oral Roberts before Tulsa.
Illinois for Self, says Lenny. So, and Oral Roberts was for who?
Yeah, Bill Self.
He was there too. Okay.
Before Tulsa. Yeah.
Yep. I know he's got a used car lot in Rutherford because I've seen it. I've actually took a picture and sent it to Brett. You remember that years ago? Bill Self Auto over in Rutherford.
You got interest everywhere.
We have a winner.
We do?
We got the trivia question right.
Oh, good for him.
Butch Parker got the trivia question right.
He did.
He did. Butch Parker got the trivia question right. Now, Butch, I want you to tell me, was the coach that was better known, or not better known, but he probably was better known to some for his broadcasting years. But, you know, and before I give you the answer, I'm going to give you this one hint. And Mike Powell, Lanny may know when I give this hint. Brett may know. Mike Powell will know when I give this hint of Belmont Abbey. That ought to give it away. No, you're close, though. You just got to get his name right.
It wasn't Al McGraw.
Belmont Abbey. You just got the name wrong. You just mispronounced the name.
Marquette.
Yeah. But
McGuire.
McGuire.
I said McGuire.
You said McGraw.
No, I didn't.
Did he not say Al McGraw?
That's what it sounded like.
He said Al McGraw.
I guess I had my mind on Allie McGraw. It was a big,
was not.
It was a big movie star in the 60s, Allie McGraw.
Yep.
Played in Love Story.
Al McGuire is the guy.
Yeah,
and Butch
Al
Parker
McGuire.
picked Marquette, and that's what they reported last night. Late was Marquette and UCLA about 10 times
I did not know
in the NCAA tournament. Well, you know, Marquette used to be good all the time. They were all good all the time.
Yeah.
And way back in the day, you know, my guess is I don't know what they played in, but they were winning their conference tournament and getting in the NCAA tournament a lot when they only took, 24 teams there for a long time. So,
you guys, even you, David, don't remember this. And
how you know I don't?
When DePaul was really good.
Yes, I do.
The NCAA
yes, I do.
tournament.
Don't tell me. I know the coach. I can see the coach's face for all those years.
I've seen DePaul play in person.
At DePaul. Your hints were a help. Yes, his flamboyance on broadcast was more popular. You know, I mean, yeah, he was a New Yorker through and through. You know, if people that don't know who Pitino, picture Rick Pitino.
Yeah.
You know, and an older Rick Pitino, because that's what
he was.
That's what Al McGuire always. They're very similar.
And you know,
personalities.
Even before Vitale, Al McGuire had some great basketball phrases and nicknames. I mean, he was the first one to come up with an aircraft, the term aircraft carrier for a 7-footer. I mean, he was very colorful in his language that he used in his commentary.
Did they beat North Carolina in the championship game?
Did.
77.
And that was his last year.
1977. They beat North Carolina, and if I'm not mistaken, they played NC State
No, that was the year that they beat UNCC with Cornbread Maxwell.
Yeah, they did. And actually, Charlotte kind of got gypped out of that game.
Yeah.
You remember? Jerome Whitehead was the player for
the court pass.
Yeah. And something happened. I don't even remember what it was, but there was a controversy, and it probably should have went UNCC's way.
Yeah.
You know, UNCC was in the Final Four. Marquette was in the Final Four. Carolina was in the Final Four. And now if you can name –
Vegas was in the other team.
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
It was UNLV.
I got it right
That's
here,
right.
UNLV.
Yeah. UNLV. Carolina beat UNLV.
They did?
Yeah. Yep, that takes you back a ways. But McGuire
coached
it.
Was that a Phil Ford
McGuire coached that
Carolina team?
I think so. Well,
yeah,
that's a Lenny question there. I do think so.
Because they went into the Four Corners with an 11-point lead against Marquette and lost the game.
Can you name all 5 Charlotte starters? All I can remember on the
Cornbread Maxwell,
Lou Massey. There was a King.
Yeah, Kevin King.
They were really good. I mean, they were really good.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Phil Ford he was a junior on that team.
Okay.
Yeah. They went into the Four Corners.
Walter Davis.
Okay.
Guaranteed to lose momentum once you hit the
Carolina was probably the best team in that Final Four, but
talent-wise, yeah.
It was just, Marquette.
Got out-coached. Al McGuire.
Did they? Well, I was just thinking about
not Dean Smith.
Did Marquette not beat Duke one year as well? No,
that they ever beat Duke.
I don't remember Duke playing.
No,
unless it
the
was
Jack
before
Givens
I was born.
game when Jack Givens wasn't that?
Yeah, he almost single-handedly beat Duke in the final. With Jack Givens.
That was Kentucky. My bad.
Yeah,
my bad. I had him mixed up being a Marquette guy. Jack Givens was Kentucky. That was pretty close to the same time period.
Yeah, it was cool.
As the Marquette thing.
Against the G-Man and Jim Spinarkle and Gene Banks.
Yep. Now I got trivia.
Cedric Maxwell was the top scorer in that tournament in 1977.
Who was the point guard?
123 points in 4 games.
What state is? And Cedric Maxwell, we went over this last week. Kinston, right?
That's
One of those Kinston NBA players. What state's Marquette in?
Wisconsin, right?
Okay.
Baby.
But the reason I asked that is there's a town Marquette.
Michigan.
Yeah.
Michigan.
Yep. It's confusing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very confusing to get those. Back to our Thursday scoreboard. Stop me if you like. Baylor over Norfolk, 85-49. Tennessee over Longwood, 88-56. Really like the way Tennessee's playing right now. They survived the first round
that's one of those
after winning their tournament. They're really good.
That the way they rolled through the SEC tournament kind of scared me.
To pick against them somewhere?
Well, to pick them to go a long way.
Yeah,
it's like how long can they keep that momentum?
Yeah.
But they are playing great.
Could Rick Barnes of Hickory finally get to the promised land?
I would like to see it.
I would too.
I would like to see it. Let's see.
At least the Final Four. I don't care necessarily when
Lenny's got them here. And here's the one two we left out. It's Maxwell, Massey, and King.
Yeah.
Chad Kinch.
That's right.
Chad Kinch. And he says the other was Jeff Gruber. And I might have come up with Kinch. I would have never come up with Jeff
I wouldn't either.
Gruber. Ned says UNCC. That was 45 years ago. Remember Cherville assistant coach and resident Dennis Tate on that UNCC team. How about that?
That's right.
How about that? Longtime Cherville assistant coach.
Still is.
Still
assistant coach.
Yeah.
Dennis Tate.
It's funny. You talking about things you can remember. I seem like I can remember watching the Final Four game. My grandparents lived in Cherville, and I think I watched that game at their house. That the Final Four game, not the Monday night game. Yeah. But it seemed like that goes.
And so how close?
Way back.
How close were we? Like you say, that length of the court pass, Jerome Whitehead laying it in. It could have been UNCC and UNC.
Wouldn't that have been something
in the final?
Yeah, wouldn't that have been
77.
Something? Would that have made a difference in UNCC's program moving forward?
I think it would have. Yeah. I think it would have given them a major
recruiting draw.
Yeah.
I wondered. Yeah.
Because that hurt them a little bit.
Yeah, they've had some good teams since then, but nothing like that group, and they really haven't knocked on the door of the Final Four. They've been in the tournament a few times,
Well,
but that's about all you can
They
say.
had a pretty consistent run of make it in under Bobby Lutz for several years, didn't they? I mean, they usually were able to make the tournament.
Yes. Yeah, and even other coaches as well. I mean, there
Yeah.
were some other coaches. I can't remember.
But they haven't been a much.
It was Lee Rose, right, that took them to the Final Four.
Where did Lee Rose leave UNCC
now
for?
I don't know. Now you're just
Bigger job, guys. Bigger job.
now you just
I wonder if any of our guys can know that. Where did Lee Rose leave UNCC to coach?
Wasn't Florida, was it? Like Norm Sloan?
It was.
Was it?
I think it was Florida.
That's the first thing come to my mind was Florida.
Yep.
That he left for Florida.
The graveyard of former North Carolina coaches.
State of North Carolina.
Yeah, Norm never really did much in Florida after winning the national championship in Raleigh.
Honestly, Florida's not a basketball school. Florida's a football school. They're really good in all their athletics. And, yes, they have won 2 national titles.
In a row, don't forget that.
Billy Donovan went down there from Providence.
Yeah.
Left Providence, went to Florida, and really
got
did
it
well.
done.
But, they haven't been back to Final Four since that, right?
Yeah.
Florida hasn't.
You're right. It's football
since
school.
that heyday. It's a football school, but they are probably, between maybe them and UCLA, the best all-around athletic university in the nation, as far as all the national titles and stuff like that in every, I'm talking about every sport.
Yeah.
Lee Rose went to Purdue, so we were wrong about Florida.
I was. I apologize.
Lenny says Lee Rose went to Purdue.
I get it.
I
think he was from the Midwest.
So, my gosh, I would have thought Gene Cady would have already been there.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
as long as Cady was there.
As long as he was there, and he was in attendance the other night. Did you see him in the crowd?
No, man,
yeah.
I missed him.
Yep, he was in attendance the other night. It might have been last weekend at the Big Ten championship, tournament championship game, but I saw him on TV recently, and it probably had to be that because I didn't hardly watch any of Purdue in their opening round game.
Would you like to see Purdue win it? They've never won it.
Wouldn't bother me at all.
No.
What
other long-time good programs have never won?
Just don't forget this. The Big Ten has not won the national title since Izzo in 2000.
That's right.
Is that not right?
Yeah.
That is a long time. You forget 2000 is now 22 seasons ago, and the Big Ten has not. Roger says Florida. Yuck. Tennessee man don't want anything.
You don't want anything to do with Florida.
Does not like Florida, and totally understood. Good rivals.
What other great programs that have been consistently good have never won it? Never won
Gonzaga.
Gonzaga.
The first one comes to mind.
But Purdue has been around a long time. They never won it.
But I don't consider Purdue a powerhouse. I mean, when they had Glenn Robinson, that's probably their best chance.
Back in the 60s.
That was in the 90s.
They made the Final Four in the 60s with a guy named Rick Mount. He was a tremendous outside shooter.
I don't know. I can't. Other programs.
What about Notre Dame? They've never won a national title in basketball, have they? Brad?
No. Some of their best teams were with Digger.
But they haven't been consistently good either.
Michigan has won with substitute coach Steve Fisher in 1989.
Ramil Robinson's team and Glenn Rice,
right,
were the stars of that squad.
That's right.
Really good team. I think Duke was in that Final Four.
They were. They got beat by Seton Hall. Then Seton Hall was defeated by Michigan.
I'm getting plenty of messages rolling in. When we get in NFL, we'll talk about the one that Rodney just sent me that I saw last night late on television that you guys may or may not have seen. We'll get that in a minute. I'm going to go keep
What
going
about Texas? Have they ever won a national title?
Never won
Not that I know of.
No, they won it in women's basketball, but not in men's.
Yeah. Yep. And that's another one of those schools that's pretty good in everything.
Yeah.
Especially baseball, football, and basketball. They always put a competitive squad on it. And why shouldn't they? After all, it is Texas, right? Let's see. Did I get to this one? UCLA beat, I wanted to say Arkansas, but it's Akron. I almost misread that. UCLA beat Akron 57-53. Kentucky fell to St. Peter's. As we said, this is the surprise of the tournament so far. Kentucky falling to St. Peter's 85-79 in overtime. Another reason, I told you I like to see Kentucky and those kind of teams get there, but I love Kentucky's center. There, I sent you guys a message the other night. He may not be the best player,
the hardest working
in the country, but he is the hardest working player in the country. And I've never. When's the last time we saw a rebounder in college basketball like him?
Yeah, he's relentless.
He is relentless.
So I was looking at Marquette's NCAA tournament history. I don't see a meeting with UCLA ever.
Oh, well.
You mean you've been dragging us through this trivia and it's wrong?
No, but the thing they told didn't even mention Al McGuire. They just said Marquette. And you said now well, we may give false information all morning long.
Yeah, you could be like
we got to look that up.
You could be like
see.
Kenny the Jet Smith, who said
I think I know what it is.
Well, don't give it. Now we got to guess all over again.
It's not UCLA.
Do I have to upgrade my insurance coverage for making?
They have met a team a lot. It's just not UCLA.
Okay, so I had UCLA wrong whenever I gave you that.
But Marquette is right.
Yeah, Marquette is right because whatever the trivia question was last night or whatever the stat was they gave, Marquette was right. So is it a blue blood then? It is. I know who it is already. I know who it is.
You do?
Yeah.
I know, it's Kentucky.
Yep.
It's Kentucky and Marquette. Why did I say? You know what? It was the first blue blood you guys mentioned or whoever said UCLA. That's
and
what
they have
me.
met them 10 times.
That's what, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, in a roundabout way, but not. Yeah. Adolph Rupp, Joe B. Hall, probably Rick Pitino. I mean, not Pitino, but John Calipari. Mm-hmm. Who was in between?
They
about 30
like
coaches
they played them.
Don't forget
in a long time.
Yeah, my bad. At least I didn't give false
Chubby
information
Smith.
on Marquette.
Last meeting was 2008.
2008, Kentucky Marquette.
Don't forget Chubby Smith.
So that would have been
Chubby.
Won a national title.
Chubby.
Probably did.
You said Chubby, didn't you?
What is his name?
Tubby.
Tubby Smith.
Tubby Smith.
Yes,
right,
it's Tubby there, Allie McGraw.
So you're so good in Love Story.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I can't say as I've ever watched
Ryan
that.
O'Neal. You know, love means never having to say you're sorry.
Does it?
Come on.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mike Powell, the romantic
philosopher.
The romantic this morning over here,
Yeah.
Mr. Mike Powell. I got lots of text to read. Let's scroll on through this. Arkansas beat Vermont 75-71. Vermont's always a tough out.
Yeah.
Are they not? Is the same guy still coaching them that was there 10 years ago, 20 years ago? Help me on that one, Lenny.
By the way, Marquette
he's a legend too.
6 out of those 10 meetings.
Marquette beat Kentucky 6 out of the 10.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brad. I'm sorry, and I apologize. At least I didn't have the Marquette one that I was trying to get everybody to guess.
Right.
At least I didn't have it wrong.
it
And like I said, it was midnight or after maybe whenever I first.
John Becker is in his 11th season at Vermont.
Okay.
Okay, it's not the legendary coach that I'm thinking of that was there way back when I used to remember.
And Don Revels wants to know what's in Mike's coffee this morning.
They're the Catamounts, right? I made his coffee, so I'm not. I'm
He
not
made
gonna,
it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
whatever.
Allie McGraw and Chubby Checker, or whoever he said over there.
Chubby Smith.
Chubby Smith rather than Tubby.
Iowa was a loser. My bracket buster for the entire tournament. Had them in the championship game. Richmond beat Iowa 67-63. And really, you should never pick a 5 to make it to the finals because
You by 12.
a 5's always going to lose in the first round.
And to a
they're
12.
always going to lose. Well, that's who they're matched up. They're not going to lose to a 13, I promise.
Well, you also went against your theory of saying, well, team wins a conference tournament, 4 days.
I'm not blaming anybody for my bracket but me.
Yeah.
I did it.
I don't know why you picked Iowa.
I did
the
it.
Final Four.
Just thankful I didn't get in the $100 one. Like I said,
yeah.
that I might just wad it up and throw it in the trash and watch one of y'all dig it out. Is what I would have done in this bracket because nobody's, I promise you, can be as bad as mine looks right now. Next year I'm going to flip a coin on every game. And I bet I do better. I'm going to flip a coin on every single game and do it that way. See what happens. I want to do one that way just to see how I come out.
Well, you know Mark Packer's theory. Spend 2 minutes on your bracket. 2 minutes.
Oh, I
max.
do. I did. Well, I mean, I flew through it and didn't go back and change any game or anything. I just
2
left
minutes.
it. Yep. That's what you should do. Don't overanalyze. Don't think about it. Just do it. Let's see. It was we already mentioned St. Mary's over Indiana by a lot.
Team. I love St. Mary's.
29-point win there. And that's okay. St. Mary's is the Gales from Illinois.
No.
California.
California.
Okay.
Gales.
And the one from Jersey City is St. Peter's.
Oh, yeah.
Jersey
I thought
City.
you were thinking about the other Gales,
New
which
Jersey.
is Iona, right?
That's right.
They
Iona
are.
Gales
They
too.
are. Yeah. There's just Gales everywhere. Gales and Alleys and Chubbies all over the place this morning. It was Murray State. Go ahead.
And don't forget, St. Mary's did defeat Gonzaga during the regular season.
Hey, that's might be what. That might be what got them in, right?
Ah,
Well, I think they were ranked
they
most,
were in
most of the
anyway,
year.
yeah.
They're a 5.
Yeah, they were.
They're a 5, and they survived.
Yeah.
Murray
I
State
will survive.
over San Francisco in overtime, 92-87. UConn falls to New Mexico State. I got a feeling that Walter White played a factor in this game. Brett, New Mexico State. Yeah. You folks that know what I'm talking about if you watch the series, won't you, Mike Powell?
We will indeed.
Who is Walter White? The lead character in Breaking Bad. It was New Mexico State winning that game 70-63. Memphis beat Boise State 64-53. Michigan comes from 15, 17 behind?
Yep.
To beat Colorado State 75-63. This Michigan team is probably our listeners' most favorite team. I feel like there's a lot of energy out there pulling for Michigan right now to go deep in this tournament, as I say that all sarcastically. UNC over Marquette. UNC may have had the most impressive win of the entire first round, beating a decent I'm not going to say they're a good Marquette team because they did, 15-13 going in? How do you get in at 15-13? But anyway, it was a good Marquette team.
They were 19-13.
95-63. 19-13?
Yeah.
Okay. Creighton with a win,
they finished
72-69.
fifth in a pretty good conference.
Yeah, the Big East.
Another overtime game. Creighton's win over San Diego State was 72-69 in that one. So, anything surprise you on the first day of the tournament? I'd just say really not. I mean, it's harder and harder for something to surprise me now.
Yeah. But I
in
will
the
say
NCAA tournament.
the only thing that really surprised me was the St. Peter's Peacocks win over Kentucky.
And was that Thursday or Friday? Because I've already lost track. That was Thursday.
Thursday.
That was Thursday, yeah.
And that was the 10th time.
You start putting all these games together, you just can't remember when they –
the 10th time that a 5-2 has fallen to a 15.
Marquette.
The 10th time now.
10th time.
Marquette beat Villanova twice.
That'll get you in.
They beat Illinois, and they beat Providence.
Yeah, got a good resume.
So they had a lot of good
Tell
wins.
me who some of their losses – what's the worst team they lost to? We have learned that
DePaul,
Ray Meyer was the coach name.
Ray
Lenny
Meyer.
almost had it. He had
Ray
Myers.
Ray Meyer.
But
DePaul,
Ray
Butler.
Meyer without the S.
Xavier. These are teams that didn't make the tournament that they lost to. St. Bonaventure.
Those are bad losses.
No, not terrible. That's about it.
All right. Before we take our time out, I'm going to go through the comments, and we're going to get in the NFL in just a few minutes, talk about some of the moves. Much love to John Clayton, the late John Clayton. I don't know if you guys heard this or not. He passed away last night.
ESPN analyst.
At age 67. So there had to be something going on. Hadn't seen him in a couple years.
Hadn't seen him in a
so
while.
I wonder if he had been sick.
They called him.
I read it was a brief illness.
Really?
Yeah.
Rodney says one of my personal favorite football insiders with an analyst who will be missed. You know what I remember the best about Clayton? He was a really good reporter, but when he did that rock and roll
The commercial.
laying on the bed in his bedroom, telling his mama to shut up or something.
Yeah, that's the one I remember.
That was one of the best commercials ever because it's so unlike his personality that you know. So unlike
his personality was sort of nerdish, stat oriented, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Lenny says the guy I'm trying to remember is Tom Brennan at Vermont. He was a legend.
Yeah.
And later was a good college basketball announcer. What do they do when they get out of coaching? I think we've learned that today.
He was a good one.
That's what they do. Ned, who sent me the information about Dennis Tate, said the Navy had me in Korea, listened on the Armed Forces radio back then, and you guys have a good Saturday. Well, it's been good so far, but it's early. It's plenty. That's why I tell everybody.
A lot of time to mess it up.
People ask you how you doing first thing in the morning, and you're barely awake. You say I'm doing great, but it's early. Give it time, right? We'll see how the day goes. Right. We'll take a time out. Thank you for tuning in this morning. Back in a moment.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. At Stifel Nicholas, we're committed to offering investors personalized investment guidance. We're a full-service organization with departments staffed with professionals that specialize in a wide range of investment opportunities, from the most conservative to the most aggressive. We strive to give each account, regardless of size, careful, individual attention. Call Fort Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC and the New York Stock Exchange. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times.
Gary Glitter.
Yeah.
A little bit got that drum sound in there. That's not Gary Glitter, though, by the way.
Just like our other intro is not Led Zepp. Even though it sounds like Led Zepp.
Got some real interesting comments. Lenny says Kevin Willard, the coach at Seton Hall, is the son of Ralph Willard, who was longtime assistant at Kentucky when Pitino was there.
Right.
I think he went on to be the head coach at Western Kentucky.
Okay.
And Western Kentucky's they're pretty good too. I saw them play
They've been
basketball
good in the past
this year. And this was the really good one here from Ned. It says, as long as y'all are picking on Professor Mike, can he comment on Allie McGraw's performance with Chris Christopherson in the 1978 movie Convoy?
I cannot. I have not seen that masterpiece, but see if I can.
But he
find
might
it.
watch that today.
I might see if I can find that movie.
You guys that know me pretty well know one of my favorite sports talk shows is Dan Patrick. And I was thinking, the way these little segments go and all these little comments and things, they have a segment at the end of toward the end of their show is, what did you learn today? What we learned today. You've heard that before?
Mm-hmm.
Guys, we need to do that. We need
Let's
to
start doing that.
Yeah, we need to do what did you learn today? But the problem is we might all have the same idea at what we learned today. Like,
maybe not.
Like if I was going to do mine right now, it would be that Allie McGraw was the head coach at Belmont Abbey at one time. I learned.
Allie McGraw.
It's always been. I hadn't got to hear Dan lately either. Yeah, it's something about this work stuff. Gets in the way, doesn't it, of some of the best things. Let's see what we had yesterday on the. Let's see if I've got the right date. Today is the 19th, right?
That's right.
Today is March 19th. And so we'll go through a few of the high school baseball scores from yesterday, if I can find some local ones. So I'm just going to read a few as we scroll down the list. Mount Airy beat East Wilkes 5-1. I'm going to give some numbers that are almost football-like on this baseball scoreboard as we go down the list. Lake Norman 12, A.L. Brown 2 last night. It was North Stokes over Elkin 8-7. No score from Huss and Kings Mountain. Bandy's beat Maiden last night by a score of 10-0.
Yeah, we saw
Bandy's beat Lincoln on Tuesday. Bandy's is pretty good. They're pretty good. Got good pitchers.
I think they're solid.
Good solid pitching staff. They're going to be probably the team to beat in the CVAC.
Wouldn't be surprised.
St. Stephen's beat Hickory yesterday 8-1 in high school baseball. It was, let's see, Wake Forest over Sanderson, still on high school. It's not the college. Wake Forest 11-1. Wake Forest beat Sanderson yesterday. Gaston Christian 7, Concord Academy 2, high school baseball. I'm trying to find some more local ones here. Alexander Central over North Davidson 5-0. Bessemer City falls to Highland Tech 12-0 yesterday.
Whoa.
I think Highland Tech's a little underrated. They
I think you're right.
But
Lincoln just beat them 10-9.
10-9.
Yeah.
It's good to see Highland. And I got nothing against Bessemer City. Bessemer City's got a great tradition in baseball and history of their baseball.
Yeah,
but
they've been
it's
down.
Good. It's good to see Highland though.
It is.
Be probably what you'd call just a little more than competitive.
Yeah.
If they're able to go out there and win a game 12-0
over a 1A rival like Bessemer.
Northwest Cabarrus 3, West Rowan 1, South Davidson 20, Carolina International 9 yesterday. Boy, I tell you, if this is a baseball score, West Charlotte, who, by the way, won the 3A state championship last week in basketball, beat West Meck yesterday in baseball. Anybody want to guess?
21-2.
You're close on the top score, 23-10. How long did that game last? Did they just finish?
4 hours.
Did
4.5.
Did they just finish? Also, it was Middle Creek beating Holly Springs 5-1. Kinston falling to James Keenan 18-3. Drone over Swannanoa Owen 9-6. Do you call them Swannanoa Owen or Black Mountain Owen or Owen?
Just Owen.
Owen. Okay. So if we say Owen, everybody's going to know who I'm talking about. I don't need to give the. Because for years you heard Swannanoa Owen when they were mentioned because,
I'm CD Owen.
Didn't know. CD Owen.
CD Owen, that's right.
Tell me what CD stands for and I will.
Charlie
Daniels? What if it's Charles Daniel?
I know it's Charles.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because I've
seen it
Charles D.
Charles D. Owen.
Yeah.
J.M. Robinson.
Here's a game Mike covered yesterday. Hoggard beat Topsail 15-2 down on the East Coast. South Brunswick over Laney 7-2. Lincoln over West Caldwell. Speaking of high scores, 25-1.
Yeah.
It was let's see, looking for West here. West Wilkes. I found a West. West Wilkes beat Wilkes Central 13-8. Surrey Central over North Wilkes, 9-5. Sounds like a Dolly movie. Here you go, Mike. Cape Fear beat Byrd.
Yay, Cape Fear.
Cape Fear beat Douglas Byrd yesterday, and I'm going to give you a hint on the score. There were a total of 24 runs scored.
Yeah. 13.
Oh, my
11.
gosh.
13
24 to
11.
nothing.
Do you know how
24 to nothing.
Owen got their name of
War Horses.
war horses?
The apocalypse.
There were
Well, there's a movie about 15, 20
There
years
were-
ago called War Horse.
there were
but-
2 schools that merged, Black Mountain High School and Swannanoa High School.
So one was the War Eagles and one was the
One was the Warriors and one was the Dark Horses. And when
Love
they
it.
merged, they
Love it.
became the War
Love it.
Horses.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's the way it ought to be, right? You took part of the nickname from both schools that merged.
yeah.
I liked it. I wonder if anybody else has done that.
And that's always been one of my favorite mascots, the War Horse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great one.
It is, and nobody else has it. That you know,
Nobody I know of.
nobody in North Carolina
Yeah.
anyway that I know of has that nickname. All right, I've kind of built up to this one. I got to give this score to you. This team is on a roll, and they have a player who is just putting up numbers that are unbelievable.
Yep.
East Lincoln beat West Iredale yesterday 17-0. I've never heard of this stat before in my lifetime, much less when I've been covering high school sports. Garrett Michelle went into the game with 6 home runs. He added 3 more last night.
Oh, wow.
9 home runs on the season in 5 games, 6 games.
6
9 home runs in 6 games. Never heard of that. I don't care who they were. 9 home runs in 6 high school games. Every game he's hit a home run in, he's hit multiple. Yeah. He's hit 2, 2, 2, and 3. Right, Brett?
Well, I think we've already said he's probably beyond the pace of Ralph Roberts at Cherryville High in the late 90s.
And if you wonder, I've never heard of anybody having more home runs than they played games in high school.
I know.
He's had
21 RBI.
21 RBIs in 6
I
games.
wonder what he's hitting, about 700, 650.
He was hitting 647.
632.
Yeah.
You got to pick it up. He's dropping an average. How about that? If you can hit power like that and
he's
still hit
threatening
6,
to go below 600.
headed to Virginia Tech to play baseball for the Hokies.
All right.
Next
D1
season.
D1
and his older brother, Taylor Michelle, is already playing baseball somewhere in college, and I can't remember exactly. I can't remember now. You know how you do so many signings, pictures and stuff. I can't remember where his older brother's playing. But man,
and our cousin Gavin Hauser is hitting 688.
Yep.
On that East Lincoln.
He's not having.
And that's the main reason I look at East Lincoln stats, and then I find Michelle.
Yep.
So they're undefeated. How many Lincoln County high school teams are still
Lincoln
undefeated?
Charter, North Lincoln, and East Lincoln going into yesterday.
Right.
We're all 3 undefeated. We know East Lincoln won, so we'll as we scroll on down through, we'll see if we got anything on.
Oh, that's a pretty awesome
on
start.
the other 2. But just and they're beating people. I mean, 17-0. They've outscored their opponents now, like 70 to less than 10, or right around 10.
East Lincoln, 72 to 11.
I'll let you give it, David. But you can add North Lincoln to the ranks.
They remain undefeated as well.
Yep.
South Stokes beat Allegheny 10-0. T.W. Andrews falls to Walkertown 10-0. Can't believe all the 20s. Jack Britt 22,
Wow.
Fayetteville 71st 2. 71st was the team that lost to West Charlotte last week in the 3A championship, by the way. And if you're wondering, the other winners, because I don't want to forget to give these, were J.M. Robinson, who moved from 3A to 2A, won the 2A championship over Farmville Central in their run.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
West Charlotte, who moved from 4A down to 3A, won the 3A championship over Fayetteville 71st. The 1A, a public school, believe it or not, won the state championship. Hayesville defeated
Was that Chatham Charter?
Chatham Charter to win the 1A boys championship.
I'm really happy for Hazel being a true public school.
And the 4A, don't know how they do it, but Weddington moves up in class and wins by about 17 last week.
Yeah.
Weddington beat
Was that Panther Creek?
Panther Creek. Weddington beat Panther Creek. Girls champions were 1A Bishop McGinnis. You help tell me if I'm wrong, Brett. 2A Salisbury. 3A. Help me with the 3A state champion. The West won 7-8. Inca lost.
That's the one they lost. Yeah,
Inca
3A
lost.
The Sugar Jets lost in the final.
Yeah, I can't remember to who, though, who they lost to. And then Apex Friendship lost to Julius Chambers.
Chambers won.
Apex led the whole game. Chambers took the lead at the end and won the game in the 4A. So the only one I'm trying to remember is who beat Inca in the 3A championship. And the West dominated, and I wasn't expecting that. The West won 7 out of 8.
Well, because Farmville Central.
Yeah, Farmville, and it's just the run they've been on. Farmville will be back too. I think they're kind of young.
Oh yeah.
But J.M. Robinson's a real deal.
Northwood
really
beat Inca.
Northwood. Saw them play boys years ago in the playoffs. Many years ago, I saw Northwood right when it was kind of a new school, I think. Back to baseball. Reagan beat Glenn yesterday 7-0. Hickory Ridge over Mooresville 6-4. Huff beat Chambers 13-2. East Bladen beat West Bladen 16-10. I tell you what, there's a lot of runs being scored in high school baseball. Charlotte Christian beat South Caldwell 2-0. Just as soon as I say that, we get a game that totaled 2 runs. Speaking of dark horses, Fairmont beat Clinton 11-2. R.J. Reynolds 2-1 over Mount Tabor. Cox Mill 8-0 over West Cabarrus. So Cox Mill, beginning the day, has 2 former basketball players still playing the NCAA tournament, right? Leaky Black and Wendell Moore.
Yeah.
Still playing in the NCAA tournament for North Carolina and Duke. McDowell beat Irwin 5-2. Hopewell over Mallard Creek 10-0. Let's see, no score on Mitchell and Madison. Northwest Guilford beat Grimsley 9-5. Pinecrest over Richmond County 4-3. East Forsyth over Davie 13-5. Lincoln Charter remains undefeated. Mike Powell, they beat South Iredale 5-2.
Okay.
Montgomery Central 13, Forest Hills 2. Forbush falls to East Surrey 4-3. Cherryville beat Shelby yesterday. Pitchers duel 2-1.
Yeah. Yeah, Cherryville coming back after getting pounded.
South Lenoir over Wallace Rosehill 12-1. Lexington falls to East Davidson. East Davidson 18-0 in that one. Charlotte Catholic over Independence 3-2. Believe it or not, this Independence team, this 4A team, is one of Lincoln Charter's wins. They beat them this past week. Moorhead over Reedsville 12-0. West Stokes 8-1 over North Surrey. West Lincoln 13-3 over Newton Conover yesterday. West
Rebels
seems to be
now
putting it together.
What's Rebels now? What in the
The Webbles?
The Webbles are.
They won at least twice this week.
Yep.
I know they won at least twice
That's
this
right.
week. So
they went in 1-1 this week in the conference, right?
I think so.
Yeah, 3-1 in the conference.
3-1 in conference play now.
Right in the middle of it.
Yep. And we will be broadcasting at West Lincoln.
We will.
I'll go ahead and throw that out there
That's right.
on Tuesday. West Lincoln hosts West Caldwell, and don't forget West Caldwell gave up a lot of runs yesterday.
And you'll have a good voice, not a great voice, at the mic beside you. Trock.
Yeah. The Trock himself.
Trock himself.
Yep. Let's see. Northwood beat Williams 11-2. Crest beat Ashbrook 11-1. Crest always solid in high school baseball. South Point, as is South Point, they beat Kramer 6-2 yesterday. Mike, I haven't found that North Lincoln one yet. Is it
4-0 over North Iredale?
4-0.
North Lincoln's allowed 3 runs in 5 games.
So there you go. Can't wait for the North Lincoln East Lincoln matchups.
Yeah,
those are gonna they'll play twice. That's going to be really good.
And North Lincoln has a player that's hit 3 home runs in 5 games.
Still not bad. Who was it?
Is it Matt Hebner?
Yep.
That's pretty good.
Had to NC State, right? I think he's committed to NC State. I think he committed to NC State when he was a freshman.
They have a freshman that's going to be really good. Kellen Carr, really good pitcher.
Okay.
Which he probably does more than just pitch, but he's off to a good start. Good basketball player too.
What's your connection there that you know he's going to be really good in the future, or is it just because
he's already good? He's good now.
Okay.
He's pitched 10 innings and gave up 2 hits.
Yeah, hey, that's pretty solid.
Yeah, it is.
North Gaston 7, Forest View nothing. Don't know if I gave that.
He's a 6'5" freshman.
Woo!
Cool.
6'5" freshman.
God, by the time he's a senior, he'll be in the 90s, probably.
He'll graduate before then.
I was talking about miles per hour.
Oh, not his age. Mike graduated when he was in his 90s. Randleman beat Wheatmore 15-0. And the one you've been waiting on, High school baseball, our final score of the morning here. Baylor beat Rabun Gap 7-0. Don't know where Baylor High School is.
Go Bears.
But I can promise you that the Carolina fans know where the Baylor Bears are today. What NCAA tournament, obviously. Well, no, NFL. We got to go NFL. We've talked a lot about the NCAA tournament, and, of course, we will again next week. But, it should dominate. I can give you the music trivia. You only got 10 minutes to give us music trivia.
Please do. So I can
Steely Dan, one of my favorite bands, right? Steely Dan is
absolutely.
one of my favorite bands. Don't look this one up either, people. I want to see if you can actually get it. Donald Fagen, Walter Becker, who really made up Steely Dan, they were the backbone of the group. They were together forever till Becker passed away a couple years back. But they played together in college. They went to college together. Let's see. I thought it was going to tell me. In upstate New York, I think was it called Annandale?
Colgate.
Annandale.
Colgate, yeah. I think it was called Annandale.
Annandale, yeah, they mentioned that.
You can't go back to your old school.
Yep. But in the early days, they played in clubs as a band called the Leather Canary before they became Steely Dan.
Yeah.
Who was their drummer?
Wow, that's tough.
And I can promise you he's better known for other stuff
than being a drummer.
Yeah, and it's not. The answer is not going to be UCLA. It's not going to be Kentucky. It's not going to be Marquette.
Is it about? Was he better known for sports?
No.
Entertainment. Some other type of entertainment.
Yes. And Lanny told me this one. He read it this morning. I'd never heard this before in my life.
So he must be like in his 60s or 70s now, right?
He's 14.
He pitches for North Lincoln.
Yeah, he's 6'5".
He's a freshman.
Come on, Mike Powell.
Tom Selleck.
As Johnny, our great friend Sumo, used to call Mike Powell, Captain Obvious. I thought that was great.
How about Al Pacino?
The late. So how about Ally McGraw?
Ally McGraw. Ron O'Neal.
Biggest move in NFL so far?
What?
Is it Aaron Rodgers signing and staying put? Is it Russell Wilson moving to the Denver Broncos?
We don't know yet.
Is it
I think it's Deshaun Watson.
Adams? Is it Deshaun Watson, who now we think's going to Cleveland to play for the Browns? What is the biggest move that's happened? And while you think about that a minute, Lenny says, here's probably the reason Marquette and Kentucky played so many times. If you look, the game meetings came in the 70s. Those days you played in your region, and that is why. That's
totally
why
when you said UCLA,
it didn't make sense.
Was thinking of West
and
Coast
I appreciate
team.
you catching that because I have blue blood on my mind, and when somebody said UCLA, I said that's one of them, but it's actually Kentucky and Marquette.
It's probably from all that blue blood you've seen bleeding out after Kentucky's
that's a tough loss. That's a tough loss. And I love Kentucky's fan base, man.
Yeah,
You're talking about a fan base that travels, and I mean they fill up a joint. I'll tell you that right now. In those days, you had to play in your region, which was the Mid-East, so those two probably met a lot. Today, they move them around.
That's true.
Except for Duke and Michigan State, they don't. They move them around, but they put them in the same one.
Yeah, how in the world do they end up playing each other every time?
The coach at Highland, Kenny Paysar, told me last spring that he had a young team that was going to be really good down the road. So good for them. Good for them. Good for Highland Tech because they have had their suffers
and
on the baseball diamond.
They play on some pretty good ball fields. They're going to be playing at Sims just like the Gaston Rhinos, and I think they also play at the Fuse, now known as Carolmont Health Park.
Yeah, and you've covered games there, right, with Gaston College. What did you think about that park?
Which one?
The Fuse.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
as much as I hate it for Sims, the Fuse has got to be.
Yeah. Oh, it's state of the art.
Yeah.
There's 5 bars there, by the way. I thought you'd be interested in knowing that, David.
Yeah, that's a bummer. Only 5.
It seems like a bar everywhere you turn. I don't know.
Roger Cranford. Now you have to tell me if you looked it up or not, but he has got to answer our trivia question. Who was the? And at this point, I don't mind looking it up because it's 9:54.
Jay Leno.
We only got a few minutes left till
Mike Greenberg, just going crazy here.
All right, I can give you a great hint.
Give me a hint.
Is he a musician?
No.
Okay.
Oh, he's a drummer. Like he wasn't.
No, I mean, is he better known as
He's
something
better known
other
as something
than
else.
a musician? Because I thought maybe he went on and became a lead singer for somebody.
SNL. There's your hint.
My God, Chevy
Dan
Chase.
Aykroyd.
Bingo.
Chevy
Chase was a drummer for.
Now I could see him acting and playing like he was the drummer.
Yeah.
But supposedly he was the real drummer for that.
Drummer for the
yeah.
what was it? The Leather Monk. What was it? Something.
The Leather Monkeys. What are
No, what was
the
what
Leather
was Steely
Canaries?
Dan?
Wasn't it?
Yeah, Leather Canaries.
Yeah, the Leather Monkeys.
Well, that's
So,
a good bit.
By the way, overnight,
That's nice trivia.
Carlos Correa signed with the Twins.
Did he?
Yeah.
What's he thinking?
3 years, $105 million.
Oh, well, I know what
that's
he's
what
thinking.
he's thinking.
I know what he's thinking. Wow, there has been some money. Roger did not look it up, he said. And when did you text me this, Roger? When did you learn that, or how did you learn?
Yeah.
Or did you just hear it like on a TV show? Got to learn it somewhere. I just
Sure
wonder if he remembers where he first heard that, because that is so weird.
It is.
You know that we didn't know that before now, or I didn't know that before now, and obviously you two guys didn't either. That because Chevy Chase is such a big name to me in the entertainment business.
Oh yeah.
That I thought we would own something like that before today. Anyway, let's see. We got about 4 minutes left. Oh, what am I doing here? I picked the wrong day. What is today? Saturday?
Yes.
Very big day coming up 1 week from today, and that's all I'm going to say about that. Very, very big day. He said he saw it in Rolling Stone once. In Rolling Stone magazine, that's a very good source for stuff like that. But yeah, very, very big day coming up 1 week from today, and that's all I'll say about that. I know Brett knows what it is, but that's all I'm gonna say. North Carolina Baylor, give me one word, quick, Mike. Come on, it's yours, Mike.
Baylor.
Brett, it's your turn. Kansas, Creighton.
Kansas.
My turn. Tennessee and Michigan. I'll go Tennessee. Mike's turn. Richmond and Providence.
Friars.
That means Providence, for those of you that don't know.
Yep.
Brett's turn. St. Mary's and UCLA.
Bruins.
I think you know who that one is.
Southern California.
For me, I got the hardest one here. Murray State and St. Peter's.
Ooh.
Going Jersey City, baby. St. Peter's to win that game. Mike's turn. New Mexico State, Arkansas.
I'm going with
Roger
Mexico
says,
State.
Good choice, and I know he's not talking about St. Mary's for me. He's talking about my Tennessee pick. Who'd you pick, Mike? New Mexico State or Arkansas?
I'm going New Mexico State.
Upset City for Mike. That'd be a 12 over a 4.
The undisciplined Razorbacks go down.
Here you go, Brett. You get the easy one.
Zags.
Or is it my turn?
It's my turn.
Memphis Gonzaga. Brett says the Zags. You can't go against the Zags.
No.
As long.
Although Memphis is very talented.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. They are. Look, I tell you what, they have some of the sweetest uniforms too.
Yeah.
I thought does Memphis. Boy, I hate this screen jumping around like it's doing. I can't even see what I need to get to. 9:58. So we've got time for these real quick. Now, is it my turn?
Yes.
Yeah.
Houston and Illinois. I am definitely going with. Help me, God! The coach's name at Houston. He's from North Carolina native. Kelvin Sampson.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Cougars here
Okay.
to beat Illinois in this one. That's a 5 and a 4. Should be a good one. And this should be a good one. Ohio State Villanova, Mike Powell.
I got to go with Jay Wright and his Villanova Wildcats.
Villanova there. Brett's got Michigan State and Duke.
Duke.
Wouldn't you know it?
Duke fan picks Duke.
What do you think on that one, Mike?
I've been negative the whole tournament about Duke, but I think they will.
Did I leave out Carolina and Baylor?
Yeah, you said it.
Did
I
I?
said Baylor.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the first one.
Yeah.
First one we did.
I think you guys got them backwards. I think Duke loses and Carolina wins.
Carolina very capable.
Let's see. Iowa State, Wisconsin. That's mine. I will go with. Wow, that's really a tough one. That's really a tough one. Wisconsin survived last night. They're playing in Milwaukee. I'll take them to win again. Yeah. Brett's got Notre Dame. Mike's got Notre Dame, Texas Tech.
Ooh. My heart's with the Irish, but my head says Texas Tech and their defense.
Yep, Texas Tech is they're good. I mean, they're really good. Notre Dame will have a hard time, I think, scoring. On Texas Tech. That leaves Brett with Miami and Auburn.
War Eagle,
he says. I've got Texas and Purdue. I think that's a very even matchup. I think that's a very even matchup. All I've heard is Big Ten sucks, so I'll go with Purdue,
there it is.
obviously. And Mike gets the last one, TCU and Arizona.
That's easy. Arizona probably will win it all. Arizona.
I get a text here real quick before we go off the air. Your anonymous baseball source, Highland Tech, much better. They can make routine plays now. Was told Bessemer City may be the worst team in the school's history. Overall, baseball not as good as in the area as it was 5 to 10 years ago.
True.
And I would agree with that.
Yep.
Let's see. Lenny says they put Duke and Michigan State in the same bracket for their history, just like they put UNC and Kansas when Roy was there.
That's right.
But the thing is, Izzo didn't coach under. I mean, I just can't figure out exactly what the thing is.
I know.
We got to go. Got to run. Breakfast time. For Mike, Brad, I'm David. We'll see you next week.